first on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning to you and welcome into Fox 10 Midday. It's Wednesday, January 7th, officially 7 days into the new year. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell, joined by meteorologist Matt Barentine. And Matt, really a cloudy picture for
January
today.
7th or April 7th?
Right.
Right, I know. It feels
literally.
It feels like springtime out there, and it's going to be that way next few days, and then we'll make the switch and get back to our regularly scheduled January programming. Here's what it looks like right now on the current look outside. You can see it's very gray. Like Ashlyn was saying, it's not very pretty outside at the moment. I do believe we'll see some sunshine poking through here before too long, but for now it's pretty cloudy, 68 degrees and very warm. Certainly not cool out there today by any stretch. So we got a warm day. And the good news is all the fog is gone at this point, so no worries about that. Just still got the low ceiling and low gray clouds that we're going to have to contend with here for the next bit. Temperature-wise, upper 60s, low 70s now as we approach lunchtime, so it is warming up as expected, and it's going to be a warm day altogether. Also, once again, it's going to be a fairly gray day. You can see the clouds really showing up here pretty well, so yeah, not very many breaks in those. So kind of a gray day. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s by the afternoon, so that is going to be warm. The record high is 79. We're going to go with about 75, 76 today. So we're going to be pretty close to records. I don't think we quite get there, but it's going to be warm. And then staying very mild going into the evening as well. If you get off work, you got some things you got to get done tonight. Temperatures there will be in the 60s. You won't need a jacket if you're going out here on your Wednesday night. So we'll stay warm today, tomorrow, Friday, and then even into Saturday. But once we get to Saturday, a front's going to be sweeping on through, and then we got some chillier temperatures on the way for Sunday and beyond. Of course, I'll show you that long-range forecast, show you how cold we're going to get coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Matt, we'll check in with you soon. First in our headlines today, while Venezuela's former leader Nicolas Maduro sits in jail in New York City, the U.S. is ramping up its crackdown of the country's black market oil industry. Many Democratic lawmakers believe his arrest was always about oil, and they're trying to get a sense of what comes next. Let's go straight to Fox's Rebecca Castor.
Wednesday morning, U.S. forces boarded and seized two sanctioned oil tankers, one in the Caribbean and one in the North Atlantic, known for transporting oil from Venezuela to countries like Iran, Russia, and China.
At the end of the day, Venezuela was the stopping place for everybody in the world who hated America.
The seizures come just hours after President Trump announced Venezuela will be turning over between 30 to 50 million barrels of oil for the U.S. to refine and sell. More than $2 billion worth at today's prices.
This is heavy, sour crude oil. A lot of the refineries in the Houston area, in the Louisiana area, are designed to refine that type of fuel. So the president opening this up again to U.S. refiners, I think is very big news.
The takeover of Venezuelan oil reserves comes after U.S. Special Forces captured the country's illegitimate leader, Nicolas Maduro, in a dramatic raid over the weekend. He's now facing drug trafficking-related charges in the U.S., but some lawmakers are questioning what President Trump's real motivations are.
What the president keeps talking about is oil. Are we in the business now of using American military power to obtain natural resources from countries around the world?
The White House didn't notify Congress before the raid, and officials briefed many lawmakers for the first time on it Wednesday.
I think the administration is winging it minute to minute.
Really, the question that I have today is, what are the next steps?
President Trump plans to meet with oil executives Friday to discuss new opportunities in Venezuela. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
And meanwhile, Russian forces launching a massive attack on central Ukraine overnight as European officials meet in Paris again to advance peace talks. This all comes one day after the U.S. for the first time supported a coalition of Ukrainian allies in providing security guarantees to Kyiv if a ceasefire is reached. While the UK and France signed a declaration pledging troops to a multinational force aimed at deterring Moscow and ultimately building up Ukraine's military.
It would be to support Ukraine's capabilities, it would be to conduct deterrence operations and to construct and protect military hubs.
Europe would lead the force with proposed support from the U.S., but Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the agreement is not legally binding and is urging the Trump administration to keep pressure on Russia. Zelensky says he plans to meet with President Trump again soon for talks possibly taking place in Washington. While Palestinian Christians in the Gaza Strip celebrated Christmas earlier this morning, the Greek Orthodox Church of St. Porphyrius held Orthodox Christmas Mass as worshipers lit candles as they entered. While most Christians celebrate Christmas on December 25th, many Eastern Orthodox churches celebrate it 2 weeks later, usually falling on January 7th, as they still use the older Julian calendar. The complex the church is located in has hosted displaced Palestinians since the onset of the war between Israel and Hamas after the militant group's surprise attack on October 7th of 2023. Even with the ceasefire in place, though, not many of those families have been able to return home. And happening now, President Trump is pushing for a health care fix, and he wants it sooner rather than later. That was the message to House Republicans on Tuesday. But Democrats say his plan is too little, too late. Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson has more now from Washington.
Obamacare is bad, and the people understand it's bad.
President Trump is renewing his push for the GOP to make health care a big issue in the upcoming midterm elections. He told House Republicans on Tuesday, quote, "You can own health care," and called on them to pass a bill establishing private health care savings accounts, even though it means changing the so-called Hyde Amendment, barring taxpayer money from being used for abortions.
Let the money go directly to the people. Now, you have to be a little flexible on Hyde. You know that.
Democrats are also unlikely to support the measure, saying the savings accounts wouldn't even come close to covering the cost of health care for most families.
The cost of living is skyrocketing. Healthcare, utilities, rent. Americans are sacrificing if ever before.
Right now, there's no fix in place to help the millions of Americans whose premiums skyrocketed after Obamacare subsidies expired. And Republicans say Democrats are refusing to negotiate on any bill that doesn't include a 3-year extension on those subsidies.
We all know the 3-year is not going to become law. It failed in the Senate already.
The health care crisis also comes amid an unprecedented flu outbreak, with 45 states now reporting high or very high rates of infection.
On a national level, we really are seeing unprecedented numbers of cases as well as hospitalizations from flu, and it's not surprising.
A bipartisan group of senators is meeting this week to hash out a new plan combining subsidies with Obamacare changes. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
It's 11:07 now, and breaking right now in local news. Mobile police arresting this man, 76-year-old James Odom, for murder. Investigators say he shot and killed a man on Forest Park Drive yesterday afternoon. Right now, the victim's identity is still unknown, but Odom is currently being charged with murder. He was set to be in court this morning for a bond hearing. Once we get that information, we will pass it along to you. And while information is still limited as to what led to the deadly shooting, investigators confirm the two men knew each other. Mobile Police Department Public Information Officer Roderick Miles is calling on the community to stop the violence.
And we have an opportunity to start afresh. And unfortunately, we still aren't practicing conflict resolution. And what that consists of as adults, to use your words and not necessarily go for a weapon that can cause bodily injury.
It's important to note, though, this is not the first time violence has unfolded at this very house. Back in December, Mobile police arrested 34-year-old Justin McGowan of Wilmer after he allegedly stabbed his father to death during an argument at the home. McGowan is charged with murder and is being held in Metro Jail on no bond. Well, new details are emerging this morning about a shootout between Sims Police and a business owner. 6 911 calls were made shortly after the gunfire erupted, including one from business owner Johnny Bowman Jr. Sims Police were investigating multiple burglaries in the area early Sunday morning, and that's when they say they found a cut padlock at Bowman's Auto Air. After announcing their presence, officers found Bowman armed inside a camper, leading to an exchange of gunfire. Bowman was shot several times and remains in the hospital this morning. One Sims police officer was also grazed by a bullet in his lower back and treated on the scene. He is okay. So far, no charges have been filed at this time. We have requested body camera video from the scene. Chief Todd Friend confirms the body camera footage does exist, but will not be released while under review. We've also asked for the 911 transcripts and are waiting to receive them. In the meantime, it could be a long road to recovery for Mobile Police Officer Lieutenant Lorenzo Matthews, as seen here on your screen. Lieutenant Matthews suffered a gunshot wound while responding to a standoff in Midtown Mobile on Sunday. We're told it could be anywhere from 6 months to a year before Lieutenant Matthews returns back to the force. Police Chief William Jackson says Lieutenant Matthews is certainly loved by many.
He's worked for me in different capacities through the years. Excellent officer, excellent supervisor. As you'll see on social media, some of the guys posting that he's probably the best supervisor they've ever worked for, so he's held in very high esteem here.
And the Mobile Law Enforcement Foundation is asking the community to donate to support in his recovery, and they've set up an online portal. All donations go directly to him. If you would like to donate, the link is also in our story at fox10tv.com. It's 11:10 now. Thanks for watching Fox 10 Midday. Still to come, we have a big update on the new downtown Mobile Arena. You won't want to miss that. Plus, the Mobile Museum of Art is getting a rebrand. Stephen Moody will have those details in just a moment. But first, Matt, not much of a rebrand for our weather here.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of gray out there. I think we'll get some sunshine peeking through here as the afternoon goes along, but it's going to take some time. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s. Yeah, it's going to be really warm. This is Bay Minette for the next few hours. Enjoy the beautiful spring-like weather. More on your forecast coming up.
Motorcycle law. Don't hesitate. Call Dean Wade.
They got me way more than I thought.
All right, here is a live look at a beach. Which beach, guys? Perdido. All right. Hey, I knew it was a beach. Got that far. Yeah, it's one of the cameras I don't use very often, but it looks pretty nice, except for this, pretty gray. Good for a walk on the beach, though. Pleasant temperatures and doing pretty good here for us right now. Now, we have had this cloudy, gray morning. We're about to hit a warm afternoon. Rain chances will ramp up Friday into Saturday. It's still cloudy and gray. We're having a really hard time here shaking these clouds today and getting some sunshine down to the surface. Eventually, we'll get some peaks of sunshine, but we'll probably be more cloudy than sunny here throughout the afternoon. But for now, still very, very gray outside. 70 degrees, mild though, so great for a nice little walk down the beach here. And even the watercolor looks pretty good, pretty good clarity down there right now. Not too, the waves are pretty low. Here's your temperatures once again, mainly 70s now at this point. It's January and it's just been spectacularly warm the last few days with these very nice spring-like temperatures. I know it's kind of gray, but at least the temperatures are comfortable. Now, there will be some chillier air that'll come in behind this front. It's right now off to our north and west. It's stalled today, so it's not coming through today. It's not coming through tomorrow. It won't come through until Saturday. So until then, we do this. We do the spring-like temperatures for the next several days. Mid-70s for us this afternoon. Nice and warm here for us on our Wednesday. Then tonight you get off work. You want to go for a walk after dinner or something? You can do that, and you can do it in short sleeves. Do it in a tank top, probably. It's going to be in the upper 60s right after sunset. So it's going to be still pretty mild as we head into the evening. And then as we look down the line here, it stays very warm tomorrow and Thursday. Then it's very warm again on Friday. A few showers will be possible as that system starts to approach, but it really comes through Saturday morning. We still get to the low 70s. I think that'll happen probably late morning, maybe mid-morning. And then colder air will start coming in by the afternoon on Saturday, and then there'll be the big change. So here's what we're looking at right now. We do have a severe risk zone for Friday. You can see we are in the level 1, but I don't think we're going to get much of that on Friday. It's going to be more off to the west of us. Central Mississippi is where we're probably going to see the most action out of all this. So I'll be more interested to see if they carry that level 1 into Saturday. I haven't yet, but that could happen because we're more likely to see the rain and storms on Saturday morning. So here's Saturday morning. Here's that line of rain and storms. So this is when we're going to get our heaviest rain, heaviest weather will likely be here on Saturday morning. By lunchtime, it's beginning to pull off to the east and move on out, and that'll allow the drier, cooler air to start coming in from the north and west behind that system, and that'll allow the temperatures to do this. So we've been dealing, well, we've got several more days of springtime, but then we get back to January next week. You can see by Monday and Tuesday morning, down near freezing. So the seesaw will take a big dip next week.
All right, looking forward to it there, Matt. Thank you. It's an exciting day in the city of Mobile as the Mobile Museum of Art gets ready to unveil its brand new logo. The museum has been working on the rebrand for quite some time now. Our Stephen Moody is live this morning with more. And Stephen, you actually got a sneak peek last month, right?
Yeah, hey, good morning. We are live inside of the Mobile Museum of Art, where just a month ago I was here for a special event where that rebrand was revealed to us. And now today, the public got a chance to see the brand new logo of the Mobile Museum of Art. Now, this is something that's been in the works for years here at the museum. And today, in front of leadership, in front of sponsors, in front of everyone, we were able to get a chance to see that live. Now, this has been in the works for a while, like I mentioned before. The museum, of course, located here in Langham Park and has long been home to exhibits from local artists and artists from across the country and across the globe. We also got some more breaking news when it comes to the museum. They will have a brand new gallery coming here in September, something that we are very excited to announce. Is called Gateway. Now, what Gateway is from graffiti to gallery, and features artists like Banksy and Basquiat and Keith Haring. Those artists, of course, really big in the street artistry scene into the 80s and now into the modern era. So they'll have 28 pieces from those artists and 2 more artists as well coming in September. That's a very big deal. Some museums maybe only get 1 or 2 pieces from those artists. They'll have 28 here coming in September. So another big deal here at the museum is the merchandise that's now available here. This is something that helps to fund the museum and keeps this open and keeps it cheap for people to come in. So they have anything from hoodies to hats to shirts and everything else. So, but the museum right now, there's nothing stopping you from coming in right now and seeing the galleries that they already have here. It features over 6,000 pieces of art, including sculptures, paintings, and other crafts. And like I said, today they just unveiled that new gallery that will be here in September. So a big day here for the Mobile Museum of Art as it looks to get started in a big way in its next chapter. We'll be here and we'll have more coming up a little bit later, but for now, reporting live here this morning here in Mobile. Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
All right, Stephen, thanks so much for a look there at the museum. Lots of big things are happening. Be sure to check it out. Something else that's happening in Mobile is the construction of the new downtown arena, which, by the way, remains on target for a January 2027 opening. That's despite weather challenges. Now, workers on Saturday laid the first of 9 roof trusses. Mayor Spiro Cherigatis says the rest of the steel trusses should be in place in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Then it will be ready for the roof membrane. Mobile City Council members approved a contract today of a little more than $1 million for the Dasher board system for a new hockey rink. And next week, the council is expected to vote on a contract for folding chairs and pallets, 2 very important items for the arena, and we'll let you know when they do. Also today, a historic building heavily damaged by a fire years ago could be in for a rebirth. Developers are working on a plan to renovate the former Hoffman Furniture building on Dauphin Street in downtown Mobile. Mobile City Council had a public hearing about a proposal to give up an alley. Developer Mike Rogers of Rogers and Willard is asking the council to waive the normal fee, which would help redevelop the property. Rogers says developers are seeking tenants for another part. He says he wants a boutique hotel.
We do feel like this is one of the most significant undeveloped or unrestored blocks in the city. You know, it's long been kind of a dark spot along Dauphin Street, the entertainment district, and so, you know, our goal is to kind of restore it to its former glory, and we think that that would be a great use, and it sets itself up well for that.
And a vote on the alley could come starting next week. It's 11:21 now on your Wednesday. When we come back, it's been 1 year since the Eaton wildfire took over a portion of Southern California. One homeowner says the rebuilding process, though, is far from over. This story and much more heading your way right here on Fox 10 Midday.
Well, apparently all we do around here is win. Call Long and Long.
Welcome back into Fox 10 Midday. This January marks 1 year since some of the worst wildfires in California history. Survivors are still grieving for lost homes and lost lives. Max Goldwasser has the story of one man who is still recovering.
Seeing the destruction firsthand is something I'll never forget. There's also a conversation I'll never forget either with a man named Rupert Garcia, who lost everything in the Eaton fire. And like so many others, he still feels the loss so deeply, with very little progress on the road to recovery.
You know, you look around the neighborhood, it's all gone. It's not just my house, it's that house, that house, that house, that house. It's just all over the place.
They say home is where the heart is. But for Rupert Garcia, his heart was inside that home in Altadena. He lived there for 51 years. His daughter and son-in-law were there too. And in a matter of minutes, the Eaton fire burned it to nothing but a memory. 1 year later, I listened as Rupert recounted every moment like it was yesterday.
This was the worst thing that ever happened. Looking at my kids going, "You gotta leave." "No, Dad, I don't want to go. I don't want to go." Her husband's grabbing her, trying to put her in the car. I'm looking at her through the window. She's freaking out.
The images, the emotions, still so fresh.
Damn, brings back a lot of memories.
But remembering what his neighborhood looked like, he says, is almost impossible.
That was on fire that morning that we came.
Rupert's home was one of 9,400 structures that burned in the Eaton fire. 19 people died. The Palisades fire, which also ignited January 7th, burned 6,800 homes and buildings and claimed 12 lives, making them some of the most destructive and deadliest wildfires in California history.
This used to be a pizza shop, a yogurt shop, and on the corner there, a UPS. None of it exists anymore.
LA County has a permitting progress dashboard to track the rebuilding process. Of the nearly 3,000 applications received, less than 20% have started construction. Rupert says his permit isn't even approved yet. So in the meantime, he's been living in an apartment in Glendale, his daughter and her husband in Pasadena, meaning his home and his heart have yet to find each other again.
You know, like the country road song? You know, country road, that one? Man, that jacks me up, dude. You know, take me home to the place I belong.
Rupert says in a perfect world, he'd love to move back onto that property with his daughter and son-in-law again, but he thinks it'll be at least a year before that happens. Max Goldwasser, 10 News.
What a story there. Certainly thinking about our friends on the West Coast as they rebuild even now. Straight ahead on Fox 10 Midday, the U.S. is deepening its control over Venezuela's oil industry. That story and much more in your business headlines. Plus, the boom boom season is almost here, and Arlie Peck shows us how the city of Mobile is already prepping for the carnival season. We'll be right back with more Fox 10 Midday.
Call to see if your case is worth more.
Call 251-444-7000. Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back. It's time for your half-hour headlines on this Wednesday. First, the U.S. has seized 2 vessels linked to Venezuela in back-to-back actions. The U.S. European Command announcing the seizure of the merchant vessel Bella 1 for, quote, violations of U.S. sanctions in a social media post. The U.S. had been pursuing the tanker since last month after it tried to evade a U.S. blockade on sanctioned oil vessels around Venezuela. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem revealing U.S. forces also took control of the tanker Sophia in the Caribbean. Noem said in a social media post that both ships were, quote, either last docked in Venezuela or en route to it. And then Georgia is set to hold a special election on March 10th to replace former Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her unexpected resignation follows her turn from Trump ally to Trump critic. Now voters will get to choose who finishes her term. Greene's district, northwest of Atlanta, is considered a Republican stronghold, while some observers say the race could provide insight into fissures within the MAGA movement. And then finally, the National Rifle Association is suing its own nonprofit charity foundation. The association filed a federal lawsuit against the NRA Foundation on Monday. The NRA accuses the foundation of unfairly using the NRA logo. The lawsuit also says the foundation misled people into donating to the charity instead of the organization itself. NRA CEO says the lawsuit is a, quote, last resort, and the association is trying to rebuild and focus on its long-term mission. In other news now, a plot twist in the Warner Brothers saga. The pause and SNAP benefits hit sales at Albertsons, and the largest egg company in the U.S. beats Wall Street estimates. Here's Fox's CJ Papa with today's business headlines.
President Trump says Venezuela will turn over up to 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. Also, he plans to meet reps of the three largest U.S. oil companies. They will chat about investments in the South American nation's oil sector. Chevron is the only U.S. oil company now active in Venezuela. Warner Brothers is recommending its shareholders reject Paramount's amended hostile bid for the company. It called Paramount's latest offer inadequate and expressed concerns the deal might not close. Warner Brothers Discovery continues to support the offer from Netflix. Grocery giant Albertsons says the government shutdown and delays in SNAP benefits cut into profits in the recent quarter. However, it was helped by pharmacy sales and digital sales in the period. And egg prices are finally coming down, but that cut into the profit for the nation's largest egg producer in the recent quarter. However, Cal-Maine Foods earnings were better than Wall Street was predicting. The company says cage-free, organic, and other premium varieties of eggs are driving a greater portion of sales. CJ Papa, Fox News.
All right, look at this scene. Oh, this is looking really pretty. And look at all the folks out there now. Obviously, this morning was pretty gray and foggy. We weren't seeing a whole lot of folks down there at the pier. But obviously, the parking spots starting to fill up. Folks getting out there for maybe that pre-lunch walk, or maybe they're going to be going for an after-lunch walk. Looking really nice out there at the Fairhope Pier. So what we're tracking, obviously, it's very warm. I mean, it's a great day to go for a walk out there at the park. I mean, it is just fabulous. We will get back to January next week, or second half of the weekend, really. And then we'll see much cooler temperatures next week. So get ready for it. I mean, we're getting a nice break, though. I mean, we've had several days now of very warm weather. Right now, it's 68 downtown Mobile. Kind of hazy still. I mean, it's been really hard to shake these gray skies. We've got a really thick cloud cover out there. We're gradually going to get some sunshine working its way on through. But regardless, it's going to be a nice warm day, wonderful day to get outside and kind of enjoy some outside time here. Why not? Well, do it while you can, right? Big picture, we have a lot of clouds like I was showing you, it's talking about there. You can see them there on the satellite. We also have a system up north and west of us. Behind that will be the much chillier air that's going to come in for us by the second half of the weekend. It's stalled, though, right now. It doesn't look too far away, but it's stalled, and we're not going to get this to come fully through until Saturday. So we got a few more days of this, the warm weather, mid-70s here for us today. So very warm and very pleasant here for us on a Wednesday. This evening is very pleasant as well. Temperatures here will be in the 60s, mid to upper 60s in the early part of the evening. So go ahead and fire up the grill, treat it like a summer night, and enjoy it. It's going to be very, very pleasant, or maybe a spring night, not quite a summer night. Here's your severe outlook for Friday. Now, we are going to be in a level 1 risk on Friday. But my concern level here is really low. Most of this action is going to be off to the west. I'll be more interested to see if they carry this risk zone over into Saturday. They haven't done so yet from the Storm Prediction Center, but it's possible we could find ourselves in a risk zone on Saturday. That's when most of the weather for us is going to come through, not Friday. Friday, yeah, we could get a few scattered showers. Once again, the heavier storms will be west of us up here in central Mississippi, back towards Louisiana and Arkansas, and that's where most of that will stay on Friday. Now, Saturday morning, that's when we get the round of heavier rains and possibly some stronger storms mixed in along this line. Not not looking at many red flags severe weather-wise with this so far, but we may get a low-end risk of severe weather when it goes through on Saturday morning. By lunchtime on Saturday, it's starting to clear out, and then that colder air will start slamming on in after that, and that's what's going to get us back to January. So enjoy more of the April weather while you've got it, because we'll have a few more days of this, so it's not just today. Tomorrow will be pretty nice, pretty warm as well. Friday will be pretty warm as well. Even Saturday will be warm to start off with. Now, I think by the afternoon, you'll start noticing the changes as the colder air comes on in. Then certainly look at what happens by Sunday. Highs only in the 50s. Then Monday and Tuesday morning, yeah, we may drop down to right around freezing on Monday and Tuesday of next week. So January will return.
All right, Matt, thank you. We've celebrated Christmas and welcomed the new year now. And you know what time it is? Mardi Gras. This season starting very soon. In fact, 3 weeks from this Friday, the Condi Cavaliers will get it all started in downtown Mobile. Our Lee Peck shows you the preps already happening.
Remnants of parades gone by, hanging around, almost like a promise the good times are never far away. Just 3 weeks from Friday, the Condi Cavaliers will kickstart the season downtown January 30th, ushering in the return of the Boom Boom. More than 40 parades will roll. But before the Port City's biggest party of the year, the city born to celebrate is still in prep mode. The barricades are starting to line the streets. Most of them have been up since the '68 Ventures Bowl parade. Purple and gold's the color of the season. It is also the color of these no parking signs 2 hours before, during, and after the parade. Not only will it catch you a hefty fine, it will also get your vehicle towed. We've seen people actually chase after tow trucks. Last year, Fat Tuesday brought in more than 236,000 revelers with 41 vehicles towed. Taking a closer look at those numbers, the entire season saw nearly 1.4 million revelers visit downtown Mobile, with a total of 376 vehicles towed. Those safety barriers set to go up in the coming weeks, a new safety feature last year following the deadly New Year's Day attack in New Orleans. Meanwhile, with construction well underway on the new arena, Mobile Mardi Gras organizations are facing a second year of finding temporary venues to hold their Mystic Balls.
People are sticking it out anyways.
And just like the city of Mobile, Fox 10 News is preparing to bring you live parade coverage, highlighting the birthplace of Mardi Gras, the magic of the season, already here as the Christmas tree in Mardi Gras Park has transitioned to purple and gold, ready to be lit.
3, 2, 1.
That celebration gets underway this Saturday, starting at 5:30, with the tree being lit around 6:20. In downtown Mobile, Lee Peck, Fox 10 News.
Yeah, so much to look forward to there. And Sarah Wall is going more in depth about the preparations already underway for this year's Mardi Gras festivities. She's also taking a look at what's being done to keep you safe, some changes that are in effect this year, and the lineup of parades on the Gulf Coast. We are officially starting the countdown to the biggest party of the year. You can find In Depth with Sarah Wall Mardi Gras Countdown on the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app and, of course, on our Fox 10 Facebook page. Well, meanwhile, NAS Pensacola welcomed a very special guest as they heard directly from the Chief of Naval Operations. It was Admiral Daryl Codley's first trip to the installation in this role. The Admiral spent the day interacting with sailors during an all-call meeting where he explained some of his priorities. He says he wants to put sailors first by improving their quality of life and making sure they have all of the training and equipment they need to be a world-class fleet. The Admiral also spoke about the importance of integrating artificial intelligence into naval operations.
Integrating that tactical battle space for a commander to know where to position their ship, position their forces, get in an optimal place to actually conduct high-end warfare can all be enabled from AI.
Admiral Caldwell was shown around the installation before continuing with his tour of the Gulf Coast, which will include stops at various shipyards. Well, this month, astronauts will conduct the first spacewalks of the new year, doing critical repairs and even upgrades outside the station. Here's a look at what they'll be working on. The walks are also called extravehicular activity, or EVA, where astronauts perform tasks outside the International Space Station. 2 astronauts will work on the space station's power channel to prepare for new rollout solar arrays, simply the structures that hold the solar panels. Once installed, those arrays will boost the station's power. And during the second spacewalk, crews will replace a camera, install navigation gear, relocate jumpers, and swap a thermal system hose.
The station's design requires humans living on board to maintain, operate, and upgrade it. So these commercial crew missions that come up, as we talked about with that, are very important to the mission.
And both spacewalks are expected to last about 6 hours overall. Well, listen to this. Residents in North Alabama are dealing with a bit of a mystery. On Monday night, residents who live near Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville were warned they would hear, quote, louder than expected noise levels due to rocket engine testing. Our sister station in Huntsville received numerous reports from residents of explosion-like sounds. But yesterday, officials said the noise folks heard was not the result of rocket engine testing. Redstone officials have not said exactly what the sound was. If we learn anything, we'll be sure to pass it along to you. It's 11:42 now, and coming up on Fox 10 Midday, the Consumer Electronics Show is happening right now in Las Vegas. We're checking out some of the new gadgets and tech right there when we come back.
On the next Investigate TV Plus,
a child can drown in a toilet.
Yes.
Do you think most people know that?
Probably not. Unknown dangers in your home could put young lives at risk.
90% of all accidents to children happen in the home, and 90% of those are preventable.
We step inside the unique house, arming parents with the tools to protect their children.
Our Unwritten Legends. Watch free anytime, exclusively on the Fox 10 Gulf.
Welcome back. The Consumer Electronics Show kicked off with its first full day in Las Vegas. On the convention floor, there's everything from artificial intelligence to old school games to things that fly. Steve Wolford has the details.
We're trying to kind of consumerize private aviation.
From the floor of CES to your backyard landing strip in the next couple of years, a personal 2-seat electric-powered aircraft from Air and Emotive.
And we're trying to bring that experience to a lot more people.
Need something larger? Sambo Motors from South Korea is developing this 5-seat air taxi that could be hitting the market in about a decade. For something a little more down to earth and much closer to mainstream, Waymo's autonomous vehicles, offering new ride-hailing service in 20 cities, including Las Vegas.
What you're seeing here today is the 6th generation of the Waymo driver. The hardware, the software, and the AI-powered compute that really makes the magic happen, that makes it fully autonomous.
And according to Waymo's Chris Bonelli, 127 million miles traveled autonomously and a collision rate that's 10 times lower than human drivers. All made possible by artificial intelligence, which CES spokesperson Allison Freed says is running the table at this year's show.
AI is the huge story. We've got more than 4,000 exhibitors across more than 2.6 million net square feet of exhibit space, and almost every single one of those exhibit feet are occupied with some form of AI.
AI even finding its way into glasses equipped with tiny cameras and speakers to make you more artificially intelligent.
They see what you see, hear what you hear, and can summarize the things that are in front of you. They can give you notifications. They can help book dinner reservations for you.
And for a little futuristic nostalgia, how about a game of chess on a real chessboard against an AI robot capable of playing at a master level or all the way down to most of us? Well, they say that this thing will deliberately dumb itself down so you can beat it.
Wow, you know what, that's really kind of it. It's really fun to watch it actually move the pieces around, like physically, rather than just like seeing a screen flip.
And if you really want to go back to the future, start looking for these downsized arcade games with Space Invaders or Pac-Man. Or how about a Kodak Charmera keychain that looks like an old Instamatic camera with some high-tech firepower?
It takes a micro SD card up to 128 gigabytes, and so that's like 90,000 pictures you can have on this little keychain camera.
Yeah, lots to see there. Not a surprise that there's a lot of AI tech out there as well. Well, it is January 7th, but it's also National Bobblehead Day. There's a day for everything. The toys themselves go back more than a century, according to the National Day calendar. It says they started in Germany, hit U.S. pop culture in the 50s and 60s, and became sports promotional decades later. The website credits Milwaukee's National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum for dedicating January 7th in their honor. The toys are also known as bobbers or nodders, so happy Bobblehead Day to those who celebrate. Well, listen to this. The Smithsonian National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute in Washington, D.C. has 2 new residents, a pair of sweet sloth bear cubs. They were born on December 7th in an off-exhibit den in the zoo's Asia Trail exhibit. The gender of each cub has not been determined and they haven't been named yet, but they're getting great care from their mother Molly around the clock. They are precious on your screen right there. But the bears won't be seen by the public for several weeks. They'll stay in the den until spring. Then they'll get to explore their outdoor habitat with their mother. It's 11:15 now on your Wednesday. Thanks for staying with us on Fox 10 Midday. Taking a live look outside at Dauphin Island. The sun is certainly shining out there right now. Not a bad day for a walk on the beach. It's mild as well. We'll have another look at your forecast and more headlines after the break.
Call to see if your case is worth more.
Call 251-444-7000.
What a story to wrap up the show today. A small town in financial distress has found a unique way to fix their problem while going viral with a cheeky, nearly nude fundraising calendar. Jeremy Roth explains in today's Take a Look at This.
A tiny town in Oregon looking to dig out of financial trouble did what anybody would do. They got together and got undressed. According to the Lake County Chamber of Commerce, the town of Lakeview was facing financial distress and was recently forced to cut funding for snow removal. To raise funds to combat the problem, locals came up with the idea of selling a cheeky calendar featuring prominent townspeople in various states of undress. The so-called nearly nude calendar, starring volunteers and shot by volunteers, features a lot of saucy bare shoulders and limbs, with the rest tastefully hidden, so it's really only cheeky in the figurative sense. With limited exceptions. Organizers say the Campy campaign has since gone viral, with calendars sold all over the U.S. and even in the UK and Japan, and the naughty body gamble has definitely paid off, with the original goal of $10,000 easily surpassed and raised funds now topping some 40 grand. A priceless moment for a Michigan couple nearly ended in disaster when a marriage proposal turned into a desperate search for a dropped ring. WXYZ reports it was on Boyne Mountain Resort's Sky Bridge where Trevor Van Camp planned to propose to his girlfriend Danielle Jenkins. But as Van Camp knelt down to pop the question, the ring popped out of his hand and fell 118 feet to the darkened snow below.
I didn't even get to see the ring. I just knew it fell.
The couple spent hours searching with the aid of metal detectors before giving up. It was a determined resort employee who kept on searching and miraculously found the ring buried in the powder. It's now back on Danielle's finger where it belongs, and the couple now has an unforgettable engagement tale.
It was something crazy to tell, and now it's our story to tell.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
So glad they found it. Thankfully, we don't have the snow to worry about with dropping things.
Just sand around here.
Just sand, which can be equally as detrimental sometimes.
Yeah, certainly. Looking at a great day to go for a walk out on the sand. Temperatures will be into the mid-70s this afternoon, so really pretty day. Well, pretty. I mean, it's still going to be kind of grayish, but not a bad day. Temperature-wise, stays pretty mild going into the evening as well. We have some big changes on the way. We're going to have colder air coming in after the system that comes through Friday going into Saturday. Heaviest rain should be Saturday morning. I think by about midday Saturday, the rain will be pushing out, and then the cold air pushes in, and then you can see what happens there. Highs only in the 50s Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Lows dropping off to near freezing or at freezing on Monday and Tuesday morning. So we've had this beautiful April spring-like week all week long. We've got a few more days of it, so enjoy it, because next week we get back to January. So we'll get back to those chilly temperatures next week. So once again, just enjoy this warm weather while we have it.
I have to be honest, I'm excited for the cold, personally. Just gotta enjoy the season a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
It's hard to play
It
about
is.
70s though.
For sure, for sure. We'll take it. Listen, thank you for watching Fox 10 Midday on your Wednesday. Be sure to stick around for Fox 10 Live at 3 p.m. We'll see you then.